Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be watching from, and welcome back to the Legends World Challenge here out at Long Beach for round number 7 of Season 1. I'm your commentator here tonight, Hamish Munro, bringing you a main event time slot here for the Legends World Challenge. I know it's a little bit later than we normally have it, but I had some things on this afternoon, so we had to push it back just a little bit. But we have got some brilliant action to come here tonight out at Long Beach, the concrete jungle of California, which if we were to run safety cars in this series, you'd almost be guaranteed that we would have one here tonight. But Long Beach, one of my favourite circuits, my favourite of the 3 or 4 technically street circuits available on the iRacing service. It's absolutely phenomenal here out in California. Let's get the track map up now, brought to you by Jay Kennedy over at SimSpeed. A massive, massive thank you to him for providing me with these images here as we trickle our way down in towards the beautiful California coastline. Just below Los Angeles, just above San Diego, we will find Long Beach. It's called Long Beach for a reason. It's a long beach down the coastline of the US as we trickle our way into the street circuit here of California. It's absolutely phenomenal. As I mentioned, it's quite a short, sharp circuit here tonight. Only 11 turns, 3.1 Ks. This layout's been used ever since the year 2000. Of course, used to host the US Grand Prix here later on. But as we can see, we start out on what is known as the main straight for Bridgestone here, a long winding straight around down into the hard break zone of turn 1 down at Toyota Corner, then through in towards the Fountain for Aquarium Way of turn 2 and 3. A tough little spot, one of the danger zones we're going to have to be careful of here. The first section of this track, turn 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all danger zones in terms of incidents can happen, cars can get involved in incidents, and there could be some big pile-ups coming here tonight with so many drivers on track already. Then down, obviously, through turn 4, a little fast-paced corner, then through 5, we mentioned a tough bit of circuit. If you catch too much curb on the inside, you can loop the car around. If you don't get enough of it, you can run it wide and into the tyre barrier, so drivers are going to have to be careful of that. But they need to maximise their runs out of that corner to get into one of the not so many passing opportunities of this track down at turn 6. A fast third gear corner, left hand, turning in towards turn 7 and then up over the crest down towards turn 8, effectively known as Kyle's Corner here tonight, because we need to watch out for a couple of drivers possibly getting into the wall at that corner. Then down and towards the Formula D section through Seaside Way, down towards turn 9 at Firestone Turn, and then in towards Indy left for turn 10, and the short, sharp hairpin at turn 11 where we could see a lot of backing up of the field, but also a lot of horrible incidents, and down through Shore Lane Drive back towards the start-finish line here tonight. So Long Beach, it's an incredible circuit. I'm going to have to reload my SDK for the first time this season, so we'll get that all reloaded up for you. But yeah, this track, it is tough. It's tough. No matter what you come here in, the walls are not forgiving at all whenever you are at this track, especially in cars like this, which can break apart so easily out there. So drivers are going to have to be ultra careful of them here tonight as we're getting in towards the end of practice. We'll be getting into qualifying very, very soon to see how these drivers are going to go out there in such tumultuous conditions. Of course, hot track, bumpy track, as well as concrete barriers. It's an all a chemical makeup of disaster on offer here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So all these drivers are going to have to be uber careful as they try and find their way around here. A couple of chats already out there. We've got Jacko saying, yum, yum, Johnny's livery works now. And then Jero saying, lovely. Jacko saying, I got him to delete the custom paint. And also saying that someone was on limiter. And Sheefy out there saying, let's go, Sheefy. So giving himself some love in the chat here tonight. So we'll get these overlays up in just a moment's notice here, ladies and gentlemen, and we will get ready to go for some Long Beach action. If you've never been to this circuit, you're going to be in for one hell of a ride tonight of how tight and how contested it can be. Little battle packs can start to form. The field, ironically, can spread out a little bit as more and more drivers get into incidents around this track. So drivers are going to have to be ultra cautious of that here tonight, as we have got a couple out there. James Boardman has returned into the series. Is that a bit of a spin at the exit of turn 5? Robert Crow's back for a second week in a row. We'll see how he does here tonight. Kyle Gretsch is back in the Pedro machine out on circuit. And Johnny Rose also back in the field as well. I'm going to have to... I know how we're going to be able to fix this. We're going to... Where's my iRacing folder? We're going to delete Johnny's paint, then we're going to reload. That will fix it. All right. I don't know what Johnny's iRacing ID is, so We are just going to... that's the wrong one. There we go. We're just gonna do that. And then we're going to reload our trading paints. That'll fix up Johnny's livery. Rob Carmichael into the chat as well. Great to have you here, Rob. First time he is in the field here tonight. Jack is saying Pedro for El Presidente. Oh, that is his paint now. Okay, well, it was right then. It was always working for me as drivers start to come out of the pits. And we start to get into qualifying here tonight. We can see Rowe and Gretsch coming out on track here together through the pit lane. They're having a little bit of a tussle here in pit lane. In fact, they put each other into the wall already, so they're already getting feisty here. Pedro Joao off the back of his first round win this season. Took the victory as of race number 2 last week in an absolutely epic end to Winton. We'll see what he can do here tonight in these qualifying conditions and in racing conditions as well. But we don't want to show that just yet. Rob Carmichael fresh into the series. He is an absolutely rapid driver no matter what he is in. We'll see if that then translates into the legends here tonight. Jack Anderson, of course, is back out there as well as Ash De Vries. So the regulars are out there. Jordan Ferguson here tonight as well, one of the championship contenders. We currently have 3 championship contenders. Oh, yeah, used to show blue when it wasn't. That's true. But it was showing that one when I would race, interestingly enough. But yeah, so there's 3 championship contenders currently in this for this championship. This is the last droppable round of the season before the final round next week out at Belle Isle. Belle Isle being a non-droppable round for these drivers. The 3 current contenders is Jack Anderson, Jordan Ferguson, and Ash De Vries. Now, there are not so many points between Jordan and Ashos. In fact, they're on equal points at the moment. Excuse me. Jack has a little bit of a lead, but if he has a poor round here tonight, of course, last week was his drop round. He had an absolutely horrid round out at Winton last week. If he doesn't have a better round this week, then he's going to have to eat the points that he had last week out at Winton. So it is going to be quite a challenge for him. Sheefy saying, poor me being out of the contention. Well, Sheefy, you know, is he in contention? Okay, well, Sheefy's in contention then. I mean, I'm thinking about the fact that, you know, Jordan has won multiple rounds. Jack, you've won a round. Ashos has won a round and won the most races this season. So they're kind of the core group who are in contention at the moment. Sheefy's yet to take a win. Yes, he could take a win tonight, and all of a sudden he's back in contention again as well. But it's going to be a lot tougher for Sheefy to get this done than what it is for Ferguson, De Vries, or Anderson. So that's the point I'm trying to make. So Sheefy is still within a shout, and I have been proven wrong before, i.e., Shannon's F3 Nationals in SRW when Dave Roberts won it from absolutely out of nowhere over Dylan DeBono and David Gallo. So it can happen. Sheefy could be an outside edge. He could get this done, but it's going to be tough for him as drivers starting out their laps now in qualifying. Jack Anderson is at the front of the field at the moment, coming around to finish off his laps. We've got some very, very low car noises on these cameras for sure. We'll see if we can get some better ones. As Jack Oz comes round through the FD section. Oh, bit of a wiggle off the curb there. Comes down towards the start-finish line of this Long Beach circuit. He's got the green flag. We're still green flag running in this one. So we have 5 minutes to go in qualifying. Rob Carmichael, though, is on one hell of a lap. He's got a purple in the first sector as Jack Oz comes across the line. And then we will see Mr. Carmichael come across in just a moment's notice. We'll see what he can do here in qualifying. These are the current times on the board at the moment. Comes across the line with a 3:29. That is his best time so far in qualifying. We've then got De Vries waiting for him to see what he can do. Pedro Suarez crossed the line. He's on a 35.756. De Vries is going to come across the line. He is going to go down into a 149.927. So he's going to try and better his time here in qualifying if he hopes to get back up the order. Ferguson goes P6. At the moment. Got Gretsch out there as well. He's trying to find some pace being back in the field after quite a few weeks away. He goes 138.61. Tyler Sheaf at the moment has started another lap. He's on a 37.93 at the moment. Only cars on our track at the moment is Robert Crow and Wayne Shepherd in the field right now. We've got debutant David Taskin out there. Good old gravy train trying to have a good old crack at the Legends for the first time in the 69 machine. We'll see if he holds that together here tonight. He's currently P11 on the road, but needs a lot of time gained to try and get back up the order in towards those 35s, 36s of the mid-pack. and the front end of field. Quite a lot of time for David here to gain in this session. Wayne Shepherd's now out on track as well. Fire up Rob Carmichael. Fans, exactly right. Get fired up. Rob Carmichael is officially in the Legends World Challenge, and we will see how well he can do here tonight. She'll be saying, yay, I'm only 14 behind third, I think. Well, we'll have to wait and see, Sheefy. I mean, 14 behind third is fine, but it's also dependent on how far you are behind the leader and how much you'd have to beat him by in the final round. That's why you're an outside edge for it at this stage in time. Carmichael comes across the line. He's got pole position at the moment at 135.028 at the moment at the front of the field. Pedro João currently sits P2 with a 135.76. Portuguese international who had an absolute revelation at round 6 last week at Winton. Ash de Vries has come across the line, 135.75. So times are coming in quick and fast at the moment. Ferguson's gone P4 with a 135.94 at the moment. All eyes are now on Jack Anderson and what he can do in this car. Carmichael saying, sorry, Stig, heard you're racing next week, and then saying it's a big scoop. Well, we'll have to wait and see how you go out on track if you are joining us here in the Legends World Challenge for the final round. Sheevy says, Jackals needs to put the sandbag on. I reckon he just needs to miss the last round. He hasn't missed a round yet this season. He's been to every single one. I reckon he needs to cop a big donut on a non-droppable round just to make it fair for everybody as he comes through into the FD section now. We'll see what he can do when he crosses the line, if he can challenge Carmichael for that pole position. At the moment, there's only about a minute 50 seconds left in qualifying, so not long to go for them to get these times in. As it currently stands, it is Rob Carmichael to Ash de Vries to Pedro João to Jordan Ferguson to James Boardman. That's the top five. Anderson's going to come across the line. Is he going to get inside the top five with this lap time? He is indeed. He's going to go pole position with a 134.97. So as it now currently stands with a minute and a half to go, it's Anderson to Carmichael to de Vries to João to Ferguson to Boardman to Gretsch to Crow to Rowe to Sheaf to Taskin, and then Shepherd has not set a time here in qualifying just yet. Ferguson's on for a good lap at the moment. He's not too far behind Tyler Sheaf, who's about to set another lap for himself when he crosses the line. But through comes the mystery machine of Jordan Ferguson. Up towards the line. De Vries also crosses the line. Couldn't go any better. Sheaf goes to P8. Can Ferguson get inside the top four? Or will he remain top five at this stage? Hasn't bettered his previous last lap. Well, actually, no, he has bettered it, sorry, but it's not good enough to pass João. Boardman comes across the line. The Boarsman through with a 135.82, not good enough to get inside the top five. Kyle Gretsch is back out on track, but I don't think he's going to be able to get a lap in at this point. So this was kind of pointless for the Pedro machine to get out there on the circuit. Robert Crow's come across the line. He's gone P9 at the moment. Had a P3 in the Vets on Thursday night for Split 2. And he'll be trying, as well as a pole position in that race as well, he'll be trying to match the magic that he put on display in that race over in the Vets. Johnny Rowe, currently P10 on the road, has had quite some good performances this season, but seems to be struggling out here in the concrete jungle of Long Beach at the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you think of Long Beach. Let us know what you think of this car track combination. I think this could be quite a challenge for our drivers here tonight. As qualifying has ended, it is all done and dusted now for the qualifying session here tonight. We're going to get into race number one very, very shortly, but first off, we have to run through our starting grid here for race number one. It will be Jack Anderson on pole position with a 134.987. He'll start ahead of Rob Carmichael out of P2 here tonight. Ash de Vries, Pedro João will make up the second row of the grid. These two have been batting it hard and harder the last couple of weeks. They'll start alongside each other ahead of Jordan Ferguson and James Boardman. Kyle Gretsch, Tyler Sheaf then make up the fourth row of the grid with Robert Crow and Johnny Rowe for P9 and P10. It'll then be David Taskin and Wayne Shepherd at the back of the field here tonight for round number 7 of season 1 of the Legends World Challenge, race number 1 here tonight. 2 races to come for us. Got a couple of drivers on the start-finish line already, including Anderson, including De Vries, and João. There's Anderson. He is now on the start-finish line. Legends and Street Circus, they are chef's kiss, 100%. Rob Carmichael, like they're saying, great car track combo. These cars are great fun. They are absolutely exceptional. I've done a couple laps in preparation for our final round next week at Belle Isle, and it has been an absolute blast just chucking this car around that Belle Isle circuit. It is so much fun around there. I had some pre-race practice for Long Beach last week. It was great fun around here as well. These cars are absolutely sensational. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen with them in SRW next season when they move over to SRW on Friday nights. and how those guys are going to feel about these cars and these car track combinations we're going to have on offer for them next season. It's going to be absolutely wild for those guys to experience this sort of racing over in that landscape of racing. As I've noticed, David Taskin is really blinking hard in the background in P11, so hopefully his internet connection can hold on strong for this race. Other than that, though, everyone else is out on the grid at the moment. We're going to get the lights up in just a moment here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get ready to go racing for race 1 of tonight's event for round 7 of season 1 here out at Long Beach. Anderson's going to be on pole. Then it's going to be Carmichael and De Vries and Jouassois in the background. But it's all going to be about the jump. Pricey in the chat. Great to have you here, Pricey, joining us for some legends here tonight. Look forward to seeing how you go in these cars next season. Lights are up, though. We're going to get the green flag running for race number 1 here tonight, as Anderson will look to lead them away off the line. It's green flag running there. A great start from the top 4 here tonight, but a horrible start, though, from Kyle Gretsch as they make their way down towards turn number 1 for the very first time. We can see Jouassois. He has rocketed off the line and already putting pressure on Rob Carmichael in P2 at the moment, as De Vries just looks to just settle in behind as they all start to spread out now through turn 1 for the very first time. As Anderson leads them through, they look nice and clean at the moment. Oh, a little bit of backing up there from Jouassois and Carmichael. Ferguson's been caught on an outside line here from Borbin. Sheafy sneaks it up the inside of him, though. He's already lost a couple of spots now as they come through turn 4. We see Crow's hungry to make up positions. So's Gretsch, so's Shepherd and Rowe. Taskin's already dropped off the back of the field as well. Oh, but that's big contact there with Crow and Ferguson. Oh, with Gretsch, sorry, and Shepherd's been involved as well. He's had big damage on that car at the back of the field. And Gretsch may have some explaining to do. Unfortunately for him, he was caught up in that. He was stuck in the wall. A big moment early on here in this race. But Anderson is already looking to break away from the field, as Carmichael's now all of a sudden under pressure from Jouassois here for P2 on the road here tonight. It's been phenomenal racing all season, ladies and gentlemen. Great to bring all the action once again for this series here tonight as they come through the FD section. Big slide there from Carmichael, trying to defend the position of P2 right now from Jouassois as they come round the final corner up towards the start-finish straight. Bit of a wide run from some of them there as they start to make their way through to start lap number 2 here of this 10-minute heat race. Anderson currently leads the way. There goes Carmichael across the line, and all their best times start to come in here off the first lap. But these are the gaps that we have on play at the moment. 1.3 seconds is the gap between Anderson and Carmichael. It's then 4/10 back to Jouassois, then about half a second back to De Vries off of the Portuguese driver in P3 on the road at the moment. As we come through the fountain section up towards turn 4. See Carmichael at the moment. He's started to get back into his rhythm now. Jouassois, how's he going to do? He's run it way wide and into the tyre barrier there. Sheafy's had to try and pull it up as best he can, and as all of a sudden there's a Tabasco machine going slow and possibly dropping far down the order. Not the kind of race that the Portuguese driver would want to be having here tonight. He's now going to have to drop down the back of the order, get the car in the pits and get it fixed up here and hopefully get back out on track and at least get something out of this race. Shepherd's been in the pits. He hasn't gotten going once again after that big contact on that one, but unfortunately there for Pedro, he's now going to end up likely outside the top 10 off the back of this one. But right now it's Carmichael. He's starting to bridge the gap up to Anderson now as everyone starts to spread out just a little bit in this one. There's De Vries in P3, Boardman in P4 at the moment, and then Tyler Sheaf P5. We've got Ferguson in behind him here. Pedro's just trying to nurse this thing in towards the pit lane. He's got Crowe in behind him, but he's clipped the wall and he's looped it around. He's going to have to wait for the field to come past him. Oh, and it's only gone from bad to worse here for the Portuguese driver. He's had an absolute revelation the early couple of weeks, and he's put it in the wall. The car's got no turn, so he'll try and get that car into pit lane. He's been an absolute revelation over the first couple of rounds, and then unfortunately just has really gone backwards here tonight in race number 1. We'll see what race number 2 can get from him. Robert Crowe, he's already up 2 spots into P7 on the road. Biggest gainer, though, is currently Tyler Sheaf. He's up 3 positions and into the top 5. Could be a big points gain here for the number 8 machine of Tyler Sheaf. Ferguson will be hoping to get back into the top 5. He's already lost 1 position here off the start line of this race. That was to Sheafy, who did end up getting past him. Borsman's up 2 spots already. None of the top three have lost or gained positions in this race. They're back seated where they started, as Anderson's now going to begin to get under assault from Mr. Carmichael. As we look off the back of Anderson's car, tries to contain this lead down towards turn number 9 on the road at the moment. Jurassi's managed to get back out on track. Taskin's in the pits now, so at least Pedro's kept it inside the top 10. But unfortunately for him, he has dropped a heap of spots off the start line. But not so bad for him, though. Of course, being full reverse grid for race number 2, he will start up in P3 for the next race. So that could be some good gains for him as Carmichael looks to send it down the inside. But Anderson defends well off the back of that one, as their battle now looks to continue on as they head down the straight back up towards the first corner here. That was well defended from Anderson. No, we want to hide that, thank you. The top 2 battle about to get underway here for the lead of this race. Anderson's just going to be trying to defend. He wants to try and take some maximum points. It's been quite a few weeks since he's taken a race win. He'll be hoping to get back up into the winner's circle and back up on the top step of the podium as well here tonight for the round win, of course, here at Long Beach. We are halfway through this race now. The top 2 battle is just commencing. I mentioned the whole field can really start to spread out throughout racing proceedings around here as more and more drivers get involved in more and more incidents, and you don't have safety cars to bunch them back up again. That's then when you start to get these big battle pack, or these big gaps between the battle packs starting to form. It's one of the downsides of Long Beach, I will admit, is it doesn't really lend itself well to close racing, especially when there are so many incidents that can happen. As Carmichael looks to put the pressure on Anderson now, side by side, down towards turn 9 into the Formula D section. Carmichael looking to get this one done easy, but Anderson's not going to give it to him so easy. Defending the outside line now up towards the final couple of corners there, side by side still. Carmichael's going to have the inside run at the final corner. He's going to tuck it up in. He's gone for the switchback as Anderson, but hasn't gotten the run out the corner. And all of a sudden, Rob Carmichael in the 1-2-4 machine is leading the way here with 3.5 minutes to go of race number 1 out at Long Beach here tonight. So it was an exceptional move done by Carmichael there down at the final corner. He's taken the lead, could possibly take the win in his debut race, but Anderson's looking to keep this pressure on him and looking to pressure him into making a mistake. Wants an outside run at turn 1. Carmichael defends the inside, does well, as Anderson's now right up on the back of him through the fountain section, as the pressure is starting to mount on Carmichael, whether he can hold it together through these couple of corners. They're both cool, calm, collected drivers. Again, it's whether they can hold it together here and maintain the pressure being applied, or the pressure that they are applying. Back on board now with Anderson, who's just trying to chase down Carmichael at this point in time. Through turn 6, they come up through 7. It's full pressure mode now for Anderson. Wants to try and get back up on the top step. He doesn't want to give this up. Big slide from him, though, in towards turn 8. Does well not to hit the wall, as Carmichael is under full pressure. But as I mentioned, he is cool, calm and collected. He'll be just hoping to hold this one together. Into the FD section they come now. Anderson's not quite close enough to make a move. Does that nice little curb hop, through there. Right on the back of Carmichael now. Into the final corner they come. Anderson's just trying to get anything he can. Gets blocked into the corner. That was a nice, smart play there from Carmichael. Stops the possibility of Anderson going for the move through that corner. As they cross the line, it'll be 2 laps to go of this race. And Anderson is just trying to hang on here to the possibility of retaking this lead in this race. Ferguson has now dropped off the back of Sheaf for P5. It's still within a second, but he's not quite close enough here to keep applying this pressure for the position of P5 at the moment as well. I know Herb Cock, it didn't really work out, did it? Curb hop was the word I was looking for. The real Pedro, there's the real Pedro there. You're 9 seconds off the back of anyone, Kyle. Maybe you'll get some camera time in the next race, or get into a battle in this one. We'll have to wait and see. But we see Ferguson's just trying to keep up with Sheafy. He's not really applying any pressure at the moment for this position. But the one who is getting applied pressure is Carmichael, because he's getting up on the back of Blinky Bill in Gravy David Taskin. You can see him there. He's just trying to stay out of the way. He's blinking hard. So the drivers need to be careful of him being parked there as Carmichael's still leading the way. Here's De Vries P3. Be a good chunk of points for him tonight. Boardman P4 at the moment. Sheafy in P5 still leading to Jordan Ferguson. Robert Crow's then in behind. Then we got Johnny Rowe just coming past. Wherever David has ended up, I've got no idea. He's been disappearing and reappearing like a cheap magician out at Las Vegas. As Carmichael comes around the final corner, he is going to start the final lap of this race. The gap is now 0.8 of a second there. We can see David in the background. He's magically appeared at the final corner, done a Houdini on us. Carmichael leads them onto the final lap of the race. Sheaf is still under pressure here from Ferguson for this top 5 finish, as they come down towards turn number 1 for the final time of race number 1 here tonight. I mean, you'd hate for any of them to get caught up in Gravy's blinking here, get caught up in an incident with him. They've got to be uber careful for these moments on track. And that's what they'll be worried about right now. Not trying to push too hard to get up on the back of him and end up in a disappearing act. Oh, you see there, just Gravy. He's defending that line hard. He's trying to stay in this thing, but he is blinking. He's blinking more than a set of eyes do at this point. You know, you've just got no idea where he could possibly be. I actually think he's just been murdered by Sheafy. Jack was saying rear kept stepping out and wanted to send me left in last turn. As we can see, Carmichael's still running ahead. But I do believe Gravy is out of the way of some of those drivers now. As Carmichael brings it in towards the final sector of this Long Beach circuit. It's been quite clinical from him here in race number 1, but he's going to have all the work to do in race 2, as he will start from the back of the field. But down towards the start-finish line now comes Rob Carmichael. He'll take victory in his debut race here in the Legends World Challenge, race number 1 of round number 7. Anderson's going to come home P2. De Vries will come home in P3. Boardman comes home in P5. Sheafy is just going to survive against Jordan Ferguson for P5 and P6. Robert Crow had a little incident off the final corner. He comes home P7. Johnny Rowe home in P8 here tonight. Then Kyle Gretsch in the Pedro machine is going to come home in P9. And then our final driver yet to cross the line after Kyle will be Pedro Joao. It's a phenomenal win from Carmichael in race number 1 here tonight. There's Pedro just coming around now, so it'll take him a little bit to get to line. But Carmichael takes the win on debut. A great performance from himself. Anderson did well to hang with him for the majority of the running here tonight. We'll see how he goes in race number 2, as he has to make his way from the back of the field to the front here tonight, as he does have that reverse grid issue of starting from the back of the field after finishing in P1. It's one of the benefits of this series. I guess if you have a poor running in race number 1, you have the possibility of making up for it in race number 2 when you get the better start positioning on that grid, of course. So this will be good for the likes of Shepard or Pedro Joao, as well as possibly even Kyle Gretsch, who's done well in the past, especially at Sandown. So it'll be interested to see how these guys go now off this reverse grid happening. But got the warm-up happening now. Be a little bit of an expression session, I'm sure, for some drivers to get out on track, or possibly go and use the facilities, or even get themselves a drink. If you haven't done so already, guys, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, and the bell icon as well, so you are notified with any race series we'll be bringing you this season or in future seasons. There are whispers at the moment of another season or another series getting put together under the World Challenge banner. Of course, Legends World Challenge is moving to SRW next season, but that doesn't mean the organisers are not willing to put on another series with different types of cars on offer for you. That we can guarantee you it'll be with free cars and free tracks, so anyone can get involved. If you're just starting out on iRacing or you're a seasoned veteran of iRacing, you can get involved as well. More details will be released soon for this new series that'll be coming out. We're not sure on what day or what night it would be on just yet. Can confirm it would not go head-to-head with the Legends, as majority of the field want to race in that series, so it'll likely be on a different night than a Friday. but it'll all be on offer very, very shortly, and more details will be shared on our socials of Legends World Challenge on Facebook, as well as into iRacing Down Under as well, and even into our Discord. So if you're not a part of the Discord just yet, be sure to click the link in the description of the stream, and you guys can join the Discord, get involved, and see what we're going to be having on offer for you for next season. Now, we did mention that the Legends World Challenge calendar has been released for next season. Now, I'm going to bring that up in just a moment's time here for you guys, because if you haven't signed up already, this will give you an opportunity to sign up if you want to. All you got to do is go to www.simracingworld.com.au. That is www.simracingworld.com.au to get involved for next season. Register as a driver, then send a message out on the socials to Sim Racing World on Facebook, or send an email to Mr. Sinkovich, and you can get involved for next season. As cars are now gridding up as well, administer the dream gravy. Well, it's going to be an absolute dream here for race number 2 here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Carmichael in chat as well saying, I wonder if any wobblers hit the tyres at Kyle's corner. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see how they're going to be going here in race number 2, of course, as all the drivers are now going to be getting lined up on the grid. So we'll quickly bring up our calendar for next season while everyone is getting all lined up here. Remember, as I said, if you want to get involved, www.simracingworld.com.au. That's www.simracingworld.com.au. Register as a driver, send a message on the socials, and you'll get an invite into the Discord, where you can sign up for the Legends World Challenge, a free series for SRW next season, the only free series on offer. The calendar is as such: Belle Isle, Sebring, Alton Park, Zolder, Hockenheim, Okayama, Oran Park, Bathurst, and then Driver's Choice to round out the season. It's going to be absolutely epic, guys. We're going to get the preview of Belle Isle in the final round of this season, and we started off next season as well. And message myself or Jack Oz after registering to SRW, so we can send league invites or send it to the SRW Facebook page as well. That will also get you an invite into the league as well. So, it's going to be Wayne Shepherd in the pole. Gravy David Taskin has been disqualified from the session for his connection issues in this one. It'll then be Joao Soar P3. It'll then be Gretchen behind him. It'll then be Rowe. It'll then be Crow. It'll then be Ferguson. It'll then be Sheaf. It'll then be De Vries. It'll then be Boardman. Then it'll be De Vries. And it'll be Anderson. Then it'll be Carmichael. That'll be the starting grid for race number 2 here tonight. We're waiting for the lights to go up and to go racing here for part 2 of our double header for Long Beach, ladies and gentlemen. The last race had a little bit of carnage in it. We'll see if race number 2 has any more to deliver, as we have an extra 5 minutes of running to come. Green flag's going to get waved, though, from Barney up on the flag post. We'll see who gets the jump down towards turn number 1. Let's go racing here as Shepherd gets a great start off the line, but so does Joao Soar out of P3. Now effectively P2 as they start the run up towards turn number 1 for the very first time here tonight. Shepherd covers that inside line nice and early. They all start to spread out down the straight as Carmichael and Anderson and De Vries will be hoping to get a nice early run up through the order here tonight. They've got to try and move quickly over the next 15 minutes. Can't be caught up in any incidents in the mid-pack as Shepherd leads them through the fountain section. Now up towards turn number 4 they come. It's been a nice little start for majority of the field now as they come up towards turn number 5. We can see here, but Joao Soar's gotten around Shepherd. There is Crow, and I believe Rowe's been involved. So has De Vries. I think Carmichael maybe was involved possibly as well. I'm not 100% sure. I think Anderson might be carrying some damage too. So it's battles galore at the back of the field right now. Boardman's trying to stay alive at the moment as they come down towards Kyle's corner. The pack is continuing on. Oh, big contact, though, for Carmichael into the tyre barrier there. He's now going to drop down towards the back of the field with heavy damage. He'll have to bring it in to try and get this car fixed up. Crowe is struggling down the straight right now. De Vries is at the back. And the big gainer out of all this is Pedro Joao Soar as well as Shepherd. And Ferguson's still involved. He's up into P3 already. So they come around the final corner now. So nice little condensed top 5 battle for the lead of this race, but a lot of the drivers are about to go possibly quite a fair bit down the order, maybe even a lap down if they're not careful. As Carmichael is forced to bring the car into the pit lane as well, as so is Crowe too. So they've been forced to bring their cars in. So is De Vries. So the bottom three have all had to come in to fix up their cars. Taskin is out of this race, as I mentioned. It was a move for his internet connection issues. Hopefully he gets that fixed for next round. As Joshua is leading this top two battle with him and Shepherd. Ferguson's in behind him. Gretsch P4. He's had a great start. He's already up 3 spots in this race. Sheaf's done well as well. Actually, no, he's still where he started. I do apologise. Sheaf's done well. He's back where he finished last race as well. Kyle's Corner claims another victim. It definitely did. Carmichael saying he's definitely a wobbler. As Anderson's starting to put all the pressure on Sheafy now in behind him. Needs to be careful of any damage he might be carrying. Sheafy with a big blink, though, out on track. Boardman's still trying to hang out here with Anderson as they come round through Kyle's Corner once again. You see big top 7 are all condensed together within 5.5 seconds, and it's all being led by Pedro Joshua, the man who won last week's round and won his first race at Winton in the second race as well. Shepherd will be hoping to try and get his first win here tonight, not just his first podium, if he can get past Pedro here, but we know he's a strong competitor. We know these guys are highly contested. We know what Ferguson can do. Former 2-time winner this season and has won a round as well. He'll be hoping to back it all up here tonight, get back into winning ways. He hasn't won a race since we left his ends of England for Alton Park in round 3 of the season. He hasn't won a race in 4 rounds so far this season, ladies and gentlemen. He's been struggling in the international waters, it seems. Joshua had set the fastest lap of the race last time by, but it was then pipped by Anderson, who did a 35.86, so he's starting to try and wrestle his way through the field here. He's putting major pressure on Sheafy now for P5 on the road. Needs to not give up so many points to Ferguson at the front of the field. He doesn't really have to worry about De Vries. He's at the back. He's gaining some good points on him over both races here tonight. Oh, but that's a big wiggle. That's a big contact into the wall. And there goes Borsman over the top of him as well. That is massive contact between them. Borsman's done a couple of pirouettes over and under himself there. They're going to have massive damage. This has now given a big advantage here to Johnny Rowe, who's going to try and come through. Boardman is not moving at the moment. Carmichael's back out there with a fresh car. He's going to get a free position over Boardman. Rowe could possibly get a free position here over Anderson as well, who's definitely going to have to come in and fix this car. It now has got major damage on it. But that was a huge moment through turn 5. It's claimed a couple more victims here tonight as Rowe gets the move done. But there's been contact between them as well. That is a massive moment, a massive move there. Rowe went for the overtake. I don't know how that's happened between them. Anderson may have some answering to do for himself as he comes up towards the final corner now. But this has now released the top 5 who are all on the lead lap by 11.5 seconds at least. Back to Anderson, who's now had to bring his car into the pit lane. Carmichael, luckily for him, he's going to get the positions over them. He's now going to be good enough for P5. So now we have to focus on the front of the field. The chat has turned against Ando. Kyle saying Ando strikes again. J-Ro saying dirty Jacko. Jacko's claiming he kept his wheels straight as another competitor did earlier this season, but I'm not sure. We didn't get all the views on it, of course, as Borsman's struggling in the final corner as well. He may just need a tow back to pits. As we can see, Pedro Joshua leads the way to Shepherd, Ferguson, Gretsch, and Sheaf. It's all happened in the first 5 or 6 minutes of this race, ladies and gentlemen. Everything's been turned on its head. What you may have thought could have been a possibility in terms of Rob Carmichael coming from the back of the field, getting to the front. If you thought of Anderson possibly doing the same thing, or even De Vries, all of a sudden, it looks out of whack and looks out of chance for them to do that. Johnny asking, can we get another replay of the angle of the replay? No, because we're a lap ahead now of when that happened, Johnny. If I'd thought of it when the actual incident happened, we could have done it straight away. But we didn't, unfortunately. So it would lose us a lap, pretty much, of the... actually, no, we can do it. Let's do it. Screw it. Let's have a look. So here we go. Oh, that's not quite even late enough on that one. Let's go back a little bit here. Let's check out what's happened. Let's go back to here. So Rowe's going for the move on Anderson. There we can see Anderson. Anderson has moved over on row there. We could see that clear as day. He moved to the right of track. And there was big contact, so there may be maybe some calls for the stewards to have a look at it from row. I'm not 100% sure. But that was big contact. That's put Johnny Rowe into the wall. It seemed from those angles that Anderson did move over, but I cannot really make that claim. But that was a massive moment there between those guys, and now they're both going to drop below Rob Carmichael a bit further back in the field. But back at the front, Joao Suat leads the way. 1 second gap back to Wayne Shepherd in P2. Ferguson's starting to put some pressure on Shepherd now for that position on the road as everyone has just started to spread out just a little bit. Kyle Gretsch, he's in P4 at the moment. This will be a great chunk of points for him. Johnny's saying, did your steering snap right as I went past? I mean, it looked like it, didn't it? It did look like it. As Kyle is just trying to hold on here to P4 on the road. Apparently there was a rear of grid for Anderson in race 1 for next week. There have been rumours. There have been rumours of a rear of grid penalty getting applied to Jack Anderson for race 1 of Belle Isle. We'll have to wait and see what the calling is. You guys will have to check in with us next Sunday as Gretsch has put it into the wall. That's going to be big damage on that car. That's going to allow Sheafy to have an opportunity to get it past here. Gretsch is not going to make it easy for him, even with the damage on that car at the moment. Sheafy could smell blood. Ferguson's dropped off the back of the top 2 battle, and in fact, he's had to bring it into the pits. Ferguson's out of the top battle for honours here tonight. That has now put Kyle Gretsch onto a podium position right now as he's under immense pressure from Tyler Sheaf, who'll be hoping to snatch that away from him here like a divorce court lawyer taking kids off a parent as they come down towards turn number 1. On board now with Sheaf, who's putting all the pressure over the Pedro Mobile. And in through the fountain section they come. Sheaf, all sorts of pressure getting applied across the field. Big wiggle from Gretsch. Can he hold on? Is the pressure gauge going to crack like an egg, or will it hold on strong like a steel beam in the World Trade Center? As they come down towards turn number 6 now. Big pressure being applied from Sheaf. Wants the move done round the outside of Gretsch. Can't quite get there. Looks for the switchback this time by. Oh, but Gretsch is defending well. This is some great battling between them. Sheafy wants it up the inside. Gets the move done this time by. Gretsch had to give it up in the end. And all of a sudden, Tyler Sheaf is now on the podium and could possibly take 3rd place here tonight, which would be a great chunk of points for him in his championship battle, especially with Anderson and De Vries further back in the field here tonight, as well as Ferguson, who is now positioned behind him, as Gretsch makes his way back past Sheafy here in the battle for P3 on the road. So these guys are swapping and changing positions like they're trading Pokemon cards in the schoolyard. Up towards the start-finish line, you can see Joao Suat and Shepherd still battling it out hard at the front of the field. De Vries is still in the lane. We'll see if he ends up back on track. Sheafy and Gretsch, though, doing an immense job right now in this battle. Up towards turn number 1. De Vries now back out on track. He'll not want to try and get involved in this battle too much with them. Sheafy's trying to hang on to this position as De Vries lets them on fuel and lets them on through. This is a great battle for P3, Sheafy. That's why we're focused on it, mate. This is a phenomenal battle for P3 at the moment. There is pressure being applied at the front of the field to Pedro Joao Suat at the moment from Wayne Shepherd. Borsman is back out on track, but he is quite a few laps down at this point, or nearly a lap down at this point on the leaders. As you see, Carmichael's starting to chase down Jordan Ferguson there through turn 1. 11 out of 9 references. It was a phenomenal reference. Thank you very much. As they come down towards Kyle's corner, we'll see if Gretsch survives this time through in the 1-9. He does indeed. So he has done very well there through the Pedro machine here in the battle here for P3. Sheaf trying to keep this pressure alive on Kyle Gretsch. He's doing his best efforts like a queen in the 70s to keep himself alive in this battle, as there's a big wiggle from Gretsch into the FD section now. Up towards the final corner they come. Sheaf is surmounting so much pressure at this point. He's on, he's had a big blink there. Kyle Gretsch is on park the bus. Sheaf is on full attack at the moment. He's put I want to say the 3-5-1 formation on track. But that's not enough players. The 3-5-2-1, I think it would be, as they come up towards turn number 1. Kyle saying, I did not survive that. I hit the wall. Right? That's what it looked like. But you've got big pressure still, but Sheafy's into the barrier. That's big damage on the M&M machine. And all of a sudden, he'll be trying to survive now to Jordan Ferguson, although he is 26 seconds back and under pressure from Rob Carmichael. But Sheafy's got to try and get back into the thing. De Vries is now, he's out of contention. He's a lap down. Back up towards the battle for P1 and P2. Jouasua and Shepherd battling it out for the lead of this race, ladies and gentlemen. Jouasua battling for his second win of the season. Shepherd battling for his first. If they can hold it together and keep it off the wall, then Shepherd will almost be guaranteed, a podium here tonight. Same would be said for Pedro Jouasua. They are catching a little bit of lap traffic now of Johnny Rowe up ahead of them. We saw him get involved in that incident with Jack Anderson earlier on. These guys are just going to be trying to hold it clean now. 4 minutes to go in this race. Only a couple more laps for them to survive to the checkered flag. As they come round the final corner, Jouasua trying to defend well here on Shepherd for the honours of the lead of this race. Ferguson's under assault now from Rob Carmichael a little bit further back as they come through Kyle's corner. Carmichael does well to not hit the wall that time by. He's learnt his lesson off the back of lap 1. And is willing just to settle back in to his rhythm and try and claim this P5 from Ferguson as they come into the FD section now. Oh, Carmichael had a bit of a run there, carrying a heap of speed through that corner. Jack was saying, heard Pedro Jouasua gets a case of Tabasco if he wins a race. I've heard the same thing, as Carmichael's still putting this pressure now on Shepherd. Sheaf has now taken P3 off of Gretsch, who's had big damage into the wall. A big hit into the wall for Kyle Gretsch. So Ferguson and Carmichael very likely will get past him here as the top 2 battle continues on now for the lead of this race. Got 3 minutes left. I would say we're only going to have 1 lap to go, quite possibly when we meet the line this time by. Down through Kyle's corner they come now. The pressure's still being mounted on a lot of these important battles on track. Remember, it's a big points loss tonight for De Vries. A reasonable points loss for Anderson over his rivals in Ferguson and Sheaf, who are in P5 and P3 respectively. In towards the FD section now. Jouasua just starting to build a little bit of a gap here from Shepherd as they come up into the final corner. Continuing on, half a second is the gap for the top 2 now. The gap, though, between Ferguson and Carmichael's even closer than ever. Carmichael's got heaps of pressure on Ferguson now. He's going to look to get the move done down towards the FD section of turn 8 on the road here tonight. Or turn 9, I should say. Under brakes they come. Carmichael down the inside of Ferguson. He's just trying to hold on in the mystery machine as best he can. He's almost put it into the wall. Carmichael gets it done and is back into the top 5 after an immense effort, after a horrible lap 1 of putting it into the wall. He has done well to get it back up here into the top 5 and get himself a good chunk of points in this race. But he's still under pressure from Ferguson right now for that position. But who else is under pressure? Pedro Jouasua. Under pressure from Wayne Shepherd. Kyle's thinking he should start getting royalties for naming that corner Kyle's corner. Well, it's a self-titled corner, Kyle. You named it that. We're just reiterating what you've named it. They've got the lap traffic of right up ahead of them. Shepherd's trying to keep all the pressure now on Pedro here for P1 on the road, ladies and gentlemen. Down through turn 8 they come. Shepherd is putting all this pressure. He's trying to take this lead here. Take it up with the California government. Exactly right. Take it up with their local office. Down towards the FD section now. It's going to be 1 lap to go. The top 2 are separated by less than a second. They've got the lap traffic ahead of them. They've got to try and get past him as easy as possible if they want to try and hold on here. Up towards the final corner they come now. Shepherd putting all sorts of pressure here over Jouasua. Jouasua tries to go for the wide line, but he's cooked it round. Shepherd takes the lead. Pedro's given it up in the final hour, and Shepherd will now try and hold on to this lead for the final lap of this race as they come up towards the line. Rowe maybe chuckling at himself a little bit for maybe maybe having a part to play in that. I don't know. Can't really tell from those angles. I think maybe Joao should have been a little bit more patient trying to get round the lap traffic. But now coming down towards turn number 1, Shepherd has this lead. 2 seconds is now the gap between him and Joao Soa. 2 seconds is the gap for him to hold on to his very first win here in the Legends World Challenge in the 313 Golf Machine. As he comes up towards turn number 4, Joao Soa is just trying to close that gap. He cooked it on the last corner. The tyres will be overheated as all heck, and he'll just be trying to keep it out of the wall. Shepherd, though, he's run a consistent and clean race. He's held together P2 for the majority of the running. It did look like that it was all Pedro. I'm not stating that Johnny had any part to play or not. Not at all. I think he should have. I think Pedro should have been more patient there and waited until the end of the straight to get it done. I don't know if he was 20 metres. He was probably about 10 metres, but he was just trying to get the run down the inside of the corner and cut the opposition. Just was a little bit too hasty on the move. I'm not claiming that Johnny had anything to do with it. I was posing the question, but I do believe that it was Pedro's fault for not being more patient and waiting until the end of the straight. As Shepherd's going to come round in towards the FD section, up towards the final corner. Pedro gave up his opportunity for a second win this season, but Shepherd has picked up the crumb and taken advantage of that. Down towards the line they come now. Wayne Shepherd off the back of a horrible race 1. He started on pole. He's going to take the win here in race 2 in the 313. Joao Soa is going to come home P2 on the road after starting P3 here in race number 2. Sheaf, after a tough battle and after a tough race, he is going to come home in P3 and get himself a great chunk of points in the number 8 M&M machine. Gretsch, after a tough run home, a damaged car, he's going to come home in P4 in the Pedro machine. Ash de Vries P10 on the road, just in behind him. Unfortunate for him, a lap down on the leaders and just a struggle race. Yep, and that really sums it up for him. Rob Carmichael is going to survive the battle with Jordan Ferguson. He's going to take a top 5 and the round win here tonight. Jordan Ferguson, as there's been big contact between him and de Vries. Ferguson comes home P6 on the road. Anderson is going to come home in P7 in behind P11 of James Boardman. And then Robert Crow and Johnny Rowe will be the last to cross the line here tonight for our racing here out at Long Beach. But it's this man, it's Wayne Shepherd, who has taken the honours in the race 2 win. Not the round win, though. The round win does, of course, go to Rob Carmichael. But yeah, that'll pretty much bring an end to our racing here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It was a massive night of action here out at Long Beach. It was such an honour to call it for you once again. It's been fantastic all season long. We so appreciate your time. We so appreciate you being here with us once again. Remember, if you want to get involved in next season, be sure to go to www.simracingworld.com.au. That is www.simracingworld.com.au. Register as a driver, then send a message to the SRW Facebook page or send an email to SRW's email or message myself or Jack Anderson, and we can help get you involved in next season over in SRW. For myself, Hamish Munro, this has been the Legends World Challenge here on Infinity Broadcasting. We so appreciate your time. We so appreciate you being here once again with us. We'll see you guys next week for the final round of the season out at Belle Isle. It's been a mega season so far. I can't wait to see what the finale, the conclusion has for us on offer once again. But from myself, from the league, from everyone out there, we thank you for watching. We thank you for being with us once again. Stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Legends World Challenge.